Everybody, I'm Graham Williamson, third generation international intuitive evidential medium. My show is called Dare to Dream, and you are on WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, TV, radio and podcasts with new streaming network. My show is always about spirit working through me intuitively. Topic today is being grateful. What have we got to be grateful for? Every single person has a choice. I found out in my life I've got a lot to be thankful and grateful for. But it's took me a long time to actually realise I'm here for a reason. I'm here to help other people. I'm here to show that working with spirit isn't evil. It can be, but God gave us all choice. Choices, yes or no. It's not about trying, it's doing or not doing. Saying yes or no. In my life, I can only go for 100% my own lifestyle. I've been in the Armed Forces 1971 to 1986. I saw a lot, did a lot, experienced a lot. But near the end of it, 1984, I found out my friend had died in the Falklands War. He took my ship, never came back. But I went down just before I left in 1986. I laid a wreath in Bomb Alley in the Falkland Island for him, from myself, friends and family. And ever since that day, my life has changed. I'm grateful my friends swapped ships with me, unbeknown to me at the time, completely behind my back. I went to join a ship I thought I was going to go on. I said, no, it's changed. Your friends doing it. And from that moment on, I literally am grateful for every single day that I've been given extra. I'm not mentioning names, I'm not mentioning the ships. But those people who know me know what I've done in my past and served on or been with. But it's not just about the Falklands. It's about being involved in car accidents, holding a bomb, being shot at, held up at gunpoint, begging to keep my underwear on in front of a church in Turkey. All these things could have ruined me. They nearly did. I'm an alcoholic. I drank a lot. Didn't recognise the stupidity of my action until many years later. But they all gave me valuable lessons how to help other people that come to me for readings. And for that I'm very grateful. Spirit knew I was coming to this body. My spirit knew that I was going to experience things and how I deal with it. I'm not blowing any trumpets. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody or worse than anybody. I'm just me. A guy who's been through enough to scare me back on the bottle, if I so choose. Being an alcoholic, you never recover. If you're a drinking alcoholic, you're still on that road. I'm a non-drinker. For 24 years, not a drop has touched my lips. Mouthful I spat out, New Year's Day, 2002. Literally, put it in, that's say Happy New Year, spat it out. That was it. No more alcohol has touched my body. I'm not saying I'm better now, but I know I don't want to feel bad. I don't want to get the headaches. I have enough with sleep apnea and having headaches. I don't need to go and buy a bottle of booze or can of booze, drink it, then get a headache again, plus sleep apnea. No, that's purgatory. But you see, life is about the lessons we're all given And the choices that we make from those moments that we realise there's a choice here. Shall I go forward, or shall I stand still, or go back? I've spoken to a few people in the readings I've done, out of the thousands of people I've done, and I got a surprise call yesterday. A friend I'd not spoken to for a while, who used to help do Florida ghost hunters. And one of the people that are involved in that became a friend. And he phoned me up out of the blue. He said, Graham, you've always been able to tell me flat out A, B, C. No periphery, no rubbish, just straightforward talking. But you always gave me a choice. I said, well, before you say anything else, why the heck did you call me, knowing I'm just going to tell you this is it? He said, well, I knew. I said, so if you knew what I was going to say, why did you need me to say it? You already know I'm going to tell you this. Why don't you accept responsibility? Why don't you say what's in your heart? Why do you have this facade in front of you? You know something, Graham? I never really thought about that. I said, you don't have to. I'm your friend and your wife. I haven't seen you for years. But I wish you both well. I'm sorry it's not working out the way you wanted it, for both of you. But is that what you want to do? Leave? Run? Hide? Or stand up and say, let's have another bash at this. Whatever it is. I don't really want to know the details. I said, but you've both got a choice here. Did you tell her that you were going to contact me? Yeah. Why? Did she say that's okay? She remembers me? Oh yeah. You see, the point I'm trying to make is, why do people who know what the answer is going to be given back to them to their question, why do they need that other person to say the answer they already know? It's because they're afraid of making a choice. Oh, Graham said it, so it's not my fault. Oh, that person said it. So no, I didn't say anything. They told me, and I just listened to them and followed their point of view. Been there. I've not done it, but I've been there. I've been married twice before. I failed. Not totally on my own. It took both parties, my previous partners, to do something that didn't help the marriage. I accept responsibility to a point, as do they. But I learned about being honest with oneself. I learned you can't hide behind a facade of this is my daytime face and this is the real face, or mood swing, or whatever it is. I don't hide behind it. This is me 24/7. And because of my past, I'm grateful that I realise I've experienced a lot of things. Not intentionally, most of it, but a fair bit of it made me sit back and go, no. I used to be living in the south coast of England for a number of years, being in the Navy, going between bases from Plymouth to Portsmouth. And at one stage I was in Fareham, near Portsmouth, and I lodged with a lady called Rose Lamb, a very gifted medium. And she used to take me to the spiritualist churches in the south, that area, around Portsmouth, Southampton area. And she said, Graham, what do you think of this place? And I say something, she says, okay, go and tell the minister, or the spokesperson, or the chairperson. And in the end, we ended up going to half a dozen to a dozen different churches. or spiritualist churches, or spiritualistic churches. And in the end, she said, do you know what you ought to be called? I said, what? She said, the white tornado. I said, what are you on about? She said, you say things directly to the people when they ask you a question, and you give a straight, unbiased answer. And it rocks them to the very core. Like one church was having trouble financially. I said, well, he's no good at his records. He doesn't know how to account. Or he's doing it intentionally. Or she. How did you know that? I said, Spirit will show me. And as it turned out, I was right. The accountant was falsifying the records and pocketing. Another one was, well, I won't go into detail, but the different churches had a lot of problems. And with me coming in and seeing, this is supposed to be a spiritual church? No, it isn't. It's just, let's fly a flag and be totally different. Now, I believe in spirit strongly to defend them. I believe that our spirits in our material body, our physical body, are here to connect with other people genuinely, to learn from, to experience things with. And I'm grateful for understanding that. But I'm no different from any of you. Physically. I'm aging the same as everybody else. Some better than me, some worse than me. More hair, less white, fatter, thinner, whatever. But I'm here for a reason. And I believe it's honesty, clarity of communication. Now, I wrote a book and it got published, but the story behind the book was quite fascinating. When I actually wrote the manuscript and sent it to a friend and got it edited, and she was Graham, she's a very dear friend. We've known each other for over 20 years. It seems like 50, but we're about 20 years. And she said, Graham, I've got to tell you this in all honesty. Now, she did my book manuscript for free. She said, if you ever write one, I'll edit it for free. And she said, Graham, over the phone, you are the world's #1 worst writer I've ever met. But because I know who you are, how you talk, how you interact with people, I can see what you're meaning in your terrible grammar. It took us 3.5 years to do the editing of my book because it was freely done. It was over 94,000 words. But she was doing it in her spare time, her home time, because she was a professional book editor and she was being paid to work X hours, and that is what she did. My book was extra for free, so it took longer. I didn't worry at all. If she said she's going to do something, I know she'd do it. Well, she did. Then I ended up doing some editing of my own and learning how to be more grammatically correct. And by the time I finished learning and doing my friend's guidance and other different avenues, I sent my book in for my manuscript in for publishing. And these people wanted to change stuff and all. I thought, no. I said, this is how it is. This is how I want it to do. That is why I'm sending it to you to complete that. I don't want pictures. I don't want anecdotes. I don't want little catchphrases. I want the story. It's a thriller. But it's a loosely based semi-biography about Native American, about spiritualism, about earls and dukes, castles and heritage, espionage and inventions and all this, but mostly family. Now, the book, as I said, is loosely based on my past. I know what it's like not to have a father that stayed. I became one to my own children because of circumstances. I thought I was just following in somebody's footsteps. I had no choice in it. But I did have a choice. I made bad choices. But I'm grateful for the fact that I can still talk to my family that I left behind in England. Because we all make mistakes, and some things we can never repair. But it's what you do from this moment on to honour your past. Working with spirit, you've got to work with your own inner self. You've got to know who you are. You've got to know, yeah, I've done that bit, didn't like the feeling on that. Or is it spirit giving me information? And I've learnt over the years what belongs to me and what spirit are showing me. Normally when I do a reading, I ask, may I hold my recipient's right hand in my left hand? And it's because I want that energy from them to come straight through to me. Because I know who I am and how my body works. I know when I ate, drank, exercised, tired, aches and pains, all the rest of it. I know what I am. And when I hold somebody's hand and I suddenly start feeling a pain here, or neck, or headaches, or jaw ache, and not talking, bad dental issues, and I can say it. One of the funniest things I did was in a church. I can't remember where it was. There's so many churches. But there was 3 ladies on my right at the front, and then I was reading a gentleman on the far left at the back. Oh, it's in Lake County, Florida. And I was going, but every time I looked, just glanced to the right, the middle lady, I kept going, salvinating. And I had to say to the gentleman, please forgive me, I'll be back in a minute. Did your mother have bad fitting teeth, dentures? Yes or no? Yeah. Okay, now I know it is. The mouth dried up. I'm going back to this gentleman. And I finished the gentleman's reading in front of all these people in the church. Then I went back to this lady and I described the lady with the badly fitting teeth. But the gentleman I've been talking to, given a reading to, was a skeptic. Full blown, heck no, this doesn't happen. It's all make-believe. Guesswork. What I told him, stopped, told the lady, finished that, went back to him. He said, there's no way you could have known that unless somebody told you. And I know you don't know these people. You come from a different area. I said, no. I said, I only know 3 people in the church. One behind me and one sitting in front of me. He says, how did you do that? I said, well, why do you want to know the answer to that if you're a skeptic? You don't believe in life after death. And you don't believe in spirit coming back and giving you information. And the fact that every time you start thinking of family that have passed, you hear, see, smell, feel, all the senses are touched by that memory being triggered. He said, how do you know this? I said, because I've been there. My mum and my grandmother, we all, well, my 5 siblings, lived with my mum in my grandparents' home. And my mum was a rescue medium. My grandmother was a medium. Crystal ball and all this. A 9-inch lead crystal ball she had, my grandmother. We used to call her Nana. Small lady, powerful. In energy and personality. Very small lady, just about 5 foot. But everybody who knew her respected her. May not like her, but respected her. Because they knew if she said something, you listened, or you were on your own. My grandfather was over 6 foot. To me, he was even tall, but I was a child. I lived with my grandparents from 1.5 to, I believe, it was 9 years of age. And he was a giant of a man. 300 pound guy, over 6 foot, there's little me. Bony, skinny, afraid of the dark. They taught me about spirit. They taught me about our gifts. And it's those moments I'm grateful. I'm not just saying it just to make up a story. You see, we all have things that happen in our lives for a reason. And we have a choice every single day to make our lives better, stagnant, or worse. And don't tell me, oh, you don't understand. It's not just me. If I say the opposite to what I've been doing, it's going to affect so many other people. Well, I'm sorry, I don't like pain, emotional or physical. And if it's making me worse, becoming ill, physically incapacitated because of other people's actions, I'm sorry, they're going to have to do their actions somewhere else. It's not being selfish to look after yourself. It's not being nasty. If you are hurting emotionally, mentally, with the stress of having to bite your tongue, keep your mouth shut, walk away, ignore it, pretend it's not happening, but inside you feel the pain, the agony, the frustration, that I'm not here, my life is not worth it. I can guarantee one thing for certain, you are worth it. I had a very good friend up in Scotland, and she had severe eczema. And she used to have to put coal tar creams all over her arms, bandage her up, and her legs, and around her neck. She was pretty much incapacitated at night time. And she had a rabid fear of fire, because she couldn't move very quickly. And she smoked during the day, but she had a rule. She had a lockbox on the bottom banister of her stairs. Her lighter, cigarettes were locked in that box every single night. And she became a very good friend. And I went to see one time, and then I got a tragic telegram from friends that knew me, what ship I was on, that my friend had died in a fire. Self-inflicted. Yeah. Not for 1 second did I agree with that. I told the captain of my ship, no, that is rubbish. I told him the story. We came back to port, not because of me, but the ship was due back anyway. We came back and I went to the police station, told them what I'd seen, heard and felt. I said, I want to try and catch the culprits that actually did this to my friend. She was a beautiful lady, but she had this severe allergies. And I did. I went, found all the friends that normally go to the house when I was around, and we all got together and we were talking about a friend who died. And they made mistakes, these people who were friends of mine. I had a recorder on me. And they actually let slip what actually happened that night. They're serving time. They may be out by now, it's over 30 years ago. But I knew within my heart what I'd been told by that legal telegram on the ship that my friend had died in a fire. No, sure. You see, I learned to trust my instincts. I'm not trying to show you every nasty thing that's happened in my life or to people in my life. I'm trying to show you that you have abilities. You're born with them. You have a choice to use them or not. The more you use them with your heart, the more strength you gain. Your energy expands. And the more you uplift your heart and be positive, your energy skyrockets and you're able to connect with spirit. I get goosebumps even now just talking about that moment where I can feel that energy coming into me and flowing through from the crown all the way down. I get goosebumps as I'm sitting here. Because Spirit want you to know they're always with you. They're always connected, because this energy that we pass out flows through us. Comes through the top, it goes out the bottom. But it can come through communication, through smell, hearing, and what you say, what you feel. All the senses are being used by Spirit. And I really have gone to so many different types of religious churches, synagogues, temples, etc., with permission to follow their rules, to learn about their belief in the divine and Spirit. And I've had many a good, honest debate. We agree, we don't agree. But it was a debate. At the end of it, do you want a cup of tea? Do you want a drink? Fine. It wasn't taken into a personal attack. Or you've got to change. None of that. Because I learned to listen to what I felt, heard and saw. I know when I suddenly remember past loved ones, it's because they're triggering my memories, as they do yours, especially if you've just lost somebody. And that just means a day, month, year, 10, 20. You still are mourning for them. But you see, this is your heart, the left side and right side. Just for example, for analogy, you love somebody, you're so strong together, nothing will come apart, suddenly they disappear. And instantly your heart starts closing and you feel that pain. You feel it and you, no, I don't. And it opens up and then you feel it again. And you keep on going back to that pain. But don't you realise the pain is your body trying to say, I want to heal. I want to become whole again. Stop doing this all the time. Let me heal and become whole. Grief takes many forms. And what it does to you, the 5 different things that happen to you: rejection, hatred, sadness, all the rest of it. But that's normal. We're all going to die one day or another. Some people actually come back. Near-death experiences, all that. I've not knowingly had one of those experiences, but I did fall through a gate when one of my sisters slammed the gate and I was in it. Fell out and cracked my head open. I can only remember 1 week being in the hospital, but evidently I was in there for 2. But I was already seeing Spirit before I had the incident with the gate. I used to play with fairies at the bottom of the garden at my nana's house. And at 4 I went to school, came home very sad. And my grandmother, my nana, she said, what's the matter, Graham? And my mum was working and the other kids were playing and doing whatever. I told her, everybody laughed at me now because I said I'd play with fairies at the bottom of the garden. She sat me down and in front of me she put a glass of water. And behind it she put a candle that was not lit. Now I'm 4 and it's on a table. So let's see if we do it. Right. So, glass of water, candle. She said, Graham, look through the glass of water. I went, like that. What do you see through the glass of water? I said, the candle down there. She said, right. Now come round here. There's a glass of water. No, there's the candle, there's a glass of water. Same thing, different viewpoint. They don't see what you see. And I'm so grateful for that moment that my grandmother took the time to show me that I am different from you and you and you and you. We are all individuals. We all have capabilities, all different ones. And you should be grateful for yourself, for what you learn of yourself. And it's not about ego and I'm better than you or you're worse than me and all that sort of. It's none of that. You're a spirit in a human body. You came into that body for a reason, to learn something, a human experience. You know what it is that you came to do, but you can't remember it because it's in that superconscious memory of yours. And sometimes you get deja vu moments. Well, my interpretation of a deja vu is because when you're spirit looking down before you come into the physical realm, you see things, you say, I want to go into that body and I want to experience that moment. And later on you get the deja vu. It's because you've seen it from spirit on the material world. And I learned that by all the spirits that have worked through me and with me. And my grandparent, my mother, and all the other mediums I've met, and people that are interested in spiritualism. Now, I'm not saying spiritualism is what you need to do this. No, what I'm saying is they helped me become what I am today. And people that are nothing to do with spirit, nothing to do with spiritualism, nothing to do with my gifts. Because I always remember one thing, I am a spirit having a human experience. Not a human experience having a spiritual encounter. I've seen ghosts, I've heard them, I've smelt them. Sometimes the smell of somebody smoking in a house when you're a non-smoker is horrid, but you know who it belongs to. You see, all that energy of your spirit stays with you. It expands, subtracts, it breathes. When you're in a good mood, it expands. When you're in a bad mood, it condenses. It's like being hot and cold. But you learn from it. Be grateful that all the encounters you've had in your life prior to this moment listening to me on this video, that every single moment in your past brought you to sit here and listen to this. Even if it's just one of you, you can contact me for help or advice. A couple of ways. I have 2 emails. The Britt 77, that's THEBRITT 77 at hotmail.com, or a medium 77, or one word, at gmail.com. Send me an email and I'll get back in touch with you as soon as I can. And if I don't know an answer, I will find somebody who can help. Or you can contact me on telephone, Florida, USA, 352-409-1060. Leave me a voice message, then I'll respond. If you don't, I'm sorry, I won't respond. Or you can contact me on Facebook. I am Graham Williamson, 3rd generation international evidential intuitive medium. I've been brought here by my spirit being still active in my physical form. I'm still a 71-year-old young man that does everyday sort of things, but I love helping people understand that spirit's always around you. Those people in your past, be grateful for every single one that you go up to and say, can I have a hug? Can I have a kiss? Can I have a smile? Can you make me laugh? Can you make me happy? The dogs, the cats, the horses, the cows, all the animals. If your energy is positive and friendly, it's amazing what you bring towards you. Animals will go to you if they feel safe and loved. They'll shy away with you if you're in a bad mood, etc. You've all seen it in some degree or another. But think about that energy. The positive is going out, the negative is coming in. But I'm not a scientist. That's my interpretation, just to give you an example of how I feel what happens. I can't prove it directly to you. I met my wife because I was teaching on Pal Talk in 2001. I started on the internet in 1996, having to key in commands and all the rest of it. Then the internet exploded, 2000 and 2001. Can't believe how much it's expanded. So we get more memory in our cell phone than we used to have on a computer. That was huge, and floppy disks and all that. I'm grateful for man's advancement into technology, but I don't want you to leave behind the natural ability of the human persona, the human energy, the spirit inside your physical body. None of this advancement really helps you if you don't help yourself first. If you leave yourself behind and just trust the machine, what are you? A machine servant, for example. Now, being able to type words with your fingers on a typewriter and put the paper in and type and take it out and another one. Yeah, it's laborious. But it's the actions of doing something, creating something. I create things with my voice. And I'm not telling false stories. I used to type on a typewriter, in a tape recorder, VHS videos, using an analog telephone. Hello, is that you? Yeah. Now we take so much for granted. Everything's so compressed, compacted. It's so small, a cell phone. But you can do work your television, work your lights, remote start your car, your bank, everything, all through a phone. That's marvellous to a degree, but where's our humanity? If we've got to let a machine do it, especially if the power goes out and you can't charge your phone and you've got everything on there, unlock your car, start your car, put the TV on, but you can't not without any power. So don't forget who you are. Don't forget your energy and your connection with people is through communication with yourself and others. CC Shout started the network, new streaming network, a while ago. Excuse me. And because of her, I'm able to sit and talk to you. And I am forever grateful of meeting CC and actually physically meeting her. She was a lovely lady. She helps me do my shows. I'm recording some of these shows because it's getting to the busy festive season and we all want to be with family and friends, but we still want to record our shows to have them go out on time, if possible. Sometimes it's not possible. But I want to pass on this being grateful video. I'm grateful for a lot of people, a lot of animals, to be here talking to you today. And I'm serious, if you do want to get hold of me, there'll be my email addresses, my telephone number, who I am. Don't forget, every minute of your life is a treasure. You have a choice to do better or not. And don't blame somebody else for your mistakes. If you make a mistake, say, yeah, I didn't do that right. Can I have another go? Or may I do another try? And if you say no, walk away and do something different. But learn from your mistakes. Be grateful for every breath of air that you take in. And all those things that other people have given you to mold you into what you choose to be. I've got siblings. I love them all, but each one's different, and I want to take a little piece of what makes me happy from each of them. It's how we learn who we are by interaction with other people. I do it with spirit as well, so I've got double the input. My mum, my grandmother, my grandfather, my Uncle George, all those people who have passed before me. I'm grateful for having known them and met them, had them in my life. Rose Lamb, medium, all the people I've encountered helped me get to where I am today. So yeah, I'm grateful. Now I want to leave this little thought with you. Who are you? Who do you know yourself to be? Are you happy or sad? What can you do about changing your situation inwardly and outwardly? I'm a recovered alcoholic. Marriage failures, car crashes, you name it, done it, survived it all. It hasn't defined me in a negative way. I've defined it in a positive way. And I hope you can do the same. And I leave that with love and blessing, and thank you for listening. And I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to Christmas as well. Bye for now.